Well, hey everybody, a little short video I'm going to be doing here on some of the upgrades that you can do to your laser. Now, I'm going to be selling wiring harnesses for the air assist and automated exhaust fan control. And so those will be coming available on my website before too long here. Anyway, but a lot of times, especially on these Chinese lasers, you get issues with plugging stuff into the included little power plugs that they have built into the unit. And a lot of people don't want to do that. They don't want to plug anything in there and are advised against it because there's been a lot of stuff with those things melting down and all that kind of junk. So if you want to avoid the hassle, you've got a couple of options when you're powering your exhaust fan. You can, plug it into the wall and just have like a power strip switch, and you can just go over there and turn it on when you're going to start lasering and let it run. And that's perfectly acceptable if that's what you want to do. The other option is just to unplug it and plug it back in every time, and you can do that as well, and that works pretty well. But there again, you got to do it every time, so it's something you got to get up and either flip a switch or plug the fan in and unplug it when you're done. The other option is on Amazon, I believe it is. They were selling at one time this little relay power kit adapter thing. It's going for like around 28, 30 bucks, something like that. It basically was a set of outlets and a little housing, and it had a plug where you plug it in the wall, and then it had a 2-pin connector on it where you could then run a 24 volt input into it coming off of your Ruida controller, and have it automatically turn the fan on and off. The problem with that situation, although it's just fantastic, is that it's a hit or miss whether you can even find those units available. So there is another option. You can kind of build your own if you want to. Now, I can provide the components, the electrical components in a kit if you want to add those to your kit when you purchase a wiring harness kit from me. Or you can just get the wiring harness and buy your own parts, or you can just do the whole thing on your own if you want to. It's really up to you. So anyway, I'm going to flip the camera around here, and we're going to take a look at what's going on with this little contraption you can build yourself. Okay, so what we have here, this right here, this box is basically what's called a 4-inch square box, and this is a deep. So it's a little deeper than the 1.5-inch typical ones. I don't have a tape measure here. I would measure it for you. I'll try to throw that up in the video, how many inches deep it is. But anyway, it's a deep. Now, back when I was in the electrical trade and stuff, we'd call these 1900 boxes, and this would be a deep 1900. A 2100 is a 411, so it's a little bit bigger. But what you want is, you get you a 4-inch square deep at the minimum. And this is going to give room for this relay to sit underneath a plug. Now, what I've used here is a single outlet plate for it. It screws right on to the box. Now, you can buy a plate that just has one hole in it and a single outlet if you want. So there's a couple of options of the way you can wire this. The way I have it wired right now is the entire outlet will turn on and off with this relay here. This is a solid state relay. It's a 40 amp range, so it'll take anywhere from, I think, I'd have to look at it, 3 to 32 volts input. So, your Ruida is going to put out a 24 volt input, which is perfect for it. Now, what I used for the power wire coming in here, I've got a ton of them laying around, this is just a computer power plug. This is a lightweight duty one, and I had some heavier duty ones, but this is what I used. I had it. It should work just fine. And then this wire coming here is the control coming out. And when you buy them from me, let's see if we can get this on here. It's actually going to say fan. When you buy the wiring harnesses from me and you want the one for to include the fan, it'll have this wire here where you can hook it in on this. Now, also when you buy the kit from me and you want the relay included, it may not look just like this one, but it'll be the same type. It's going to come with thermal tape on the back of it where you can stick it down, and you definitely want to have a thermal conductivity between the relay and whichever metal enclosure or whatever you're putting it in. This is going to help dissipate the heat that the relay is going to generate when the power is going through these contacts up here. Now on here you'll see I've got a diode, which is totally unnecessary on this type of relay. You typically will put diodes, you'll see them in the rest of the issues of the kits. You'll see them utilized on the solenoids or any type of a coil relay, because the solenoids or a coil relay, what you have is when you reduce the power of it, you have a coil collapsing, and that generates a reverse voltage and can spike back to your controller and damage it. So this is why you use a diode. Now I put it on here, doesn't really need it because the solid state relay does not have a coil to collapse. It will not generate a reverse voltage back in. Another thing you're going to notice in here that I've got terminals crimped on the wire. One thing you never want to do, never, all right? You do not want to solder the ends of the wires and then put them under screw or clamp terminals. You don't want to do that. What's going to happen is over a period of time, through movement, vibration, heat, whatever else, that solder is going to deform, compress, and become loose under the terminal. This is why you will not see this done in any professional installations. Some of the stuff coming from China, especially in the 3D printers, they'll do that, and over a period of time you have a problem. You have to get in there and cut it off and put something else on there. So you either want to use, if you got especially stranded wire, you want to use a crimp terminal or a crimp ferrule stud on the end. No solder. Don't do that. Now it's fine to solder two wires together out away from that, just not under a compression type connector here, or whether it's here or on the Ruida controller connectors. But like I said, you don't want to do that. So if you have any kind of a kit, whatever, that's got soldered wires sticking under terminals, pull them out, cut the solder off, restrip the wires, and it's better just to have the stranded wires under there than it is to have soldered terminals. Okay, you just don't want to do it. Okay, take my word on that. Now, with all that said, you're probably not going to generate enough current to heat them up to cause it to deform, but there again, why take a chance? Especially on something like this where you could, under the issue of the fan and then the heat that the relay may generate as it, operates there. So anyway, I've got that. So we've got two, we call these Romex connectors, and it's what I call them. These are the snap-in type. They have the kind that also have the screw lock nut on it. And then on the edges here, this is two deck framing brackets that you can buy. You can get those at Home Depot or Lowe's. And then these are what's called teak screws. They're self-drilling, and they screw in there. There again, if you buy the kit from me, I will include the screws. I will not ship the box and the brackets and all that stuff, because it would increase the shipping cost quite a bit for the volume that you would need to do. You're just better off going down and buying these parts at Lowe's or Home Depot or Menards if you're up in an area that's got those. Now, if you just absolutely insist, I will give you a price to send all this to you. So anyway, now one of the things that you notice is I spaced it up. I don't know if you can see that there. It's spaced up so that it does not sit directly on the surface that you're going to mount it on, the wall or whatever else. The reason for that is we want airflow. There again, remember we got a thermal conductivity between the relay and the box. We want the box to act as a heat sink. We want good airflow around it. We do not want the piece that's the relay is mounted on up against the wall that will impede airflow. We want the airflow to go on it. So we're going to mount this with these brackets here and here out to the side, and that's how we'll basically do it. So I'm going to stop this video just for a second. I'm going to put this on, and we're going to temporarily rig this up where it'll operate the fan using my power supply to simulate the Ruida controller, telling it to go. And so what are we doing, real quick before I end this, what are we doing with the Ruida controller? I'll kind of try to bring one of those things up. We got a time delay. If you buy the system from me, we got a time delay in there that where you can actually set the fan to continue to run for however long you want after the laser gets through cutting the job. This will allow the fan to continue to run for 15, 20, 30 seconds, a minute, whatever you set. I'm going to default set them for 30 seconds, but it's going to allow that fan to continue to run to extract the fumes and stuff out of the cabinet, and then it'll shut the fan down instead of just shutting it down immediately. You can put the fan hooked up straight to the Ruida controller, in which case it will come on the minute it starts cutting, and the minute it's through, it will shut off. And you can do that if you want. But like I said, it will not run that extra 15, 20, 30 seconds, whatever you have set there, to go ahead and continue to extract the smoke and whatever else out of the cabinet before you open it up. So we'll drop this, and we're going to go ahead and look at a test with this put together and running the fan. Okay, we got this hooked up here. We're going to go ahead and flip it on now. The fan is down there. That is a Harbor Freight ventilation fan, 8-inch, and it's got reducers that I 3D printed on each end to hook the 6-inch hose up. Those 3D files are on my website for free. You do have to register because I don't want hot linking to the website. But we don't sell your information or anything like that. You just register for a free account. You can download any of the free files that I have on my website. So anyway, I've got the fan plugged in here, and I've got this plugged over in the wall. And so when I kick this on back here, and you can see I'm barely pulling any power to here, and I don't know if you can hear it, but the fan is running back in there. Now when I kick the power off, got a slight delay as the relay powers down. So you got a couple of second delay on the relay powering down. But you can make this for virtually a fraction of the cost of that $30 outfit that you can buy on Amazon, if you can find it. So this is an option. Like I said, we do include relays if you buy them from us. Now, if you buy the relay from me, this is more than likely the one you will get. If not, you can go purchase your own. And this one here is 24 volt through 380 volt AC on the contact, and then on the input again is 3 volts to 32 volts. You do have to observe polarity, and you don't really need a diode on these type of relays. Now, I don't have it on the back of this one, but it will come if you purchase these through my website along with your kit. These will come with a heat sink double-side tape on them, so when you peel it off and stick it down to your metal heat sink or box, it's going to help transmit the heat generated by the relay, if any, into the metal and allow it to dissipate out. The other thing too is, if you buy the fan automation kit from me, you're going to receive an electronic control module, which is basically timed delayed relay. You can either time on or time off. And I'll do another video on actually setting this, but it'll come with it set for 30 seconds from me, and then you can adjust that to whatever. You can either cut the hole and put this in, or you can cut a box out of plywood, or I have a 3D printed box and top that you could put these in. It's not perfect, so you're going to have to do some manual adjustments to get everything together, because I really can't tell what's going to go on with your printer and everything. So anyway, but you will get one of these if you order the fan control kit with your wiring harness. So anyway, that's basically about it. Going over what we're initially going to set up as a series of videos on doing the modifications, doing the air assist kits, and everything else is going to go along with the wiring harnesses that I will be selling off my website. Down the road, we're probably even going to start making and selling rotary attachment. Like as stated on the website, I do not have an extensive background in lasers, so I do not protest to be an expert in lasers or anything all lasers. That being said, excuse the shake there. That being said, I am an expert in electrical, motor controls, and wiring of machines. So, take that for whatever it is. But as with anything, use any information you get from me or any other website out there at your own discretion, your own risk. And, there's no warranties expressed or implied with any of the information that I give out. But I'm more than willing to help anybody. The difference you're going to find with me over other places is, you can buy just a plain harness with just the wiring with the plugs on it. And I will give you all the information you need to get the parts to go ahead and complete the hookup on your end. Or you can buy as much of the parts, if not all of the parts that you need from me. So, anyway, thanks for watching my video, and really thank you for patronizing my website once that starts happening, so hopefully you will. And, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. It's just going to be on both of my channels. MrLaserGuy.com website is basically going to have the Mr. Laser Guy channel on YouTube, and the Poor Man's DIY channel will also have some of these videos on it, because you never know. Some of the people that are farming, lasering, and whatever else might want to explore some of the laser controls, and then eventually some of the other controls that I'm going to show people how to build. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe down below. Hit the like. Please hit the likes. And, if you want to support me, there's a link that you can do to go support me. You can buy me a coffee or something. That'll help support the site. If you go on over to the MrLaserGuy.com site, there's links on there. I'm an eBay partner. I'm an Amazon associate, or I guess whatever they call them. And I'm also a partner with Servo place out of California. So anyway, clicking on those links, going through purchases and things like that doesn't increase the cost of anything to you, but it does help me out. So if you feel like doing that, please do. It's not a requirement. Okay? Thanks for watching. Hopefully I can help you.